Alright, so here we are at Play vs. Week 3. This is our first game of the entire tournament. We see two teams clashing at Rex the NPC, so we decide to third party this fight after landing at the Colossal Crops. Bird lights his shoe on fire with the flamebow that he has, and he gets knocked down with his AR. So we decide to all spray and pressure this box up to make sure we can get the elim and get the elimination. The good thing about this tournament with the eliminations is eliminations are worth 2 points. Placements are very important in this tournament too, as it is very heavily weighted on a placement scale. The elim match is at 20. So here we see that they're doing some box fighting, and we just decide to keep it. I see a Scar down there. Not a good idea to push that. On my fault and error. I know I said that last time, but I don't know. Anyways, I did call out the Scar was there in case an enemy picked it up. But we decided to hold the boxes. What we should have done was put cones. I don't know what I was trying to do here. I was trying to get rid of the tree, but I just started breaking this guy's floor. I didn't realize it till later. Brett takes a risky peek right there. And as you can probably see from right here, there, he does make a sort of risky investment and didn't really pay off for him. Because of our lack of cone playing, we did give him an opportunity to escape upwards and try to take height over us, which is basically exactly what they decided to do right there. So Brett goes up to try to solo not 1v2 but take one of them out, where me and Hez focus on that one right there. While Brett's doing the solo, me and Hez stick together, I heal a couple times, and I try to regroup the team. Brett did a really good job containing it to one person and did get the knock off the first person. Unfortunately, Hez goes down, but I did manage to take out the second guy. We got you, Hez. Nothing to worry about. We got you. Alrighty, so here we are taking a rotation out of Pleasant Park. 30 people left. This is a very stacked endgame for our first game. I take over height after seeing two teams rotate out of Pleasant Park, which is what I should not have done. We were in shambles. We had the map, but we did not have the loot. Me and Brett both make the same mistake, while Hez is smarter and he takes low ground. We notice this and we start to head to low. I stay one layer above him and Brett rotates to the left. I call out that we have to rotate with zone. Brett recommends that we head to the left, and I tell Brett that it's a good idea and that our team should rotate. So that's what we end up doing. We rotate left with Spire Tower and head into zone from there. How do you guys think we should do it?
Hold up. What do we have?
Okay, we gotta try to avoid the fire. Right, so here we are at Spire. Brett and Hez both set towards the campfire at the very end, so we end up taking a late rotation. I end up rotating up and get into zone to Spire that way, and I immediately box this up. I want to make sure that we have a box to get into zone, so that when they come, we're completely protected against the guys on top of the Spire Tower. I sort of did my job in this case, where I did protect them, but I did get lasered in the end about it. So what we end up doing, we just hold the box and wait for zone to push in.
I can extend that metal if you want me to extend one.
Alrighty, so right here, we're just waiting for zone to close in because we were lucky and got the 50-50 pull with zone. Brett's gonna make a box outwards and try to take picks off down the mountain. He holds a gas can out and signals to us that he is going to be throwing out a gas can and try to blow up the building in front of us, so that's exactly what he does, and I shoot the gas can. I did not call out that I shot the gas can until later on to Brett. We see the team get exposed, so I pull out my stink ball and try to stink him, but unluckily Brett decides to close the edit. It's not his fault, I didn't call it out, and it was on my error. So we do end up trying to take that peek again, and I just pull out my stink ball and start stinking them. I do get a fair amount of damage on them over time, but I did not manage to get any knocks. We do notice that zone will be pulling back, so we can rotate through our builds, which is very fortunate for us again. So luckily we got the double zone pulls, so we start looking for peaks off the side of the mountain. Right as zone is about to close, we start looking at our rotation and whether we want to take left side or right side of zone. This is very important because that's where less people will be, and we want to be either hugging hard left or hard right. Here we decided to hug hard right since it did follow our target. So we start following our tarp back, and right as I take this edit and start rebuilding and starting to take walls, we take a top 13 placement and I see a guy, Jonesy, right there. So I call him out and Red was asking if we should WK him, and I call out no. And luckily that was a good call because he did end up dying. What ended up happening was we started to rotate and it all jumps into this box. And unluckily I get knocked and it puts all of us into zone because I overplaced that round down. Very unfortunately, we go down to storm.
That's fine.
Not bad.
Someone, yeah, it's because someone placed a wall behind you.
So now we're off to game 2. I have a jellyfish which I use on 3 of us to get us up a little bit. There is a team hiding in the field, so I use my harpoon gun and take one of them with us.
You guys go, you guys
I crack him, so I just hit him for 79 and knock him. The teammate is starting to rush up to protect his teammate, but we end up taking her Alexa teammate out as well, and easily wipe out that trio.
Oh, Amos
That was
just
a
OP.
brain dead teammate.
That was played very well by the 3 of us. We had good collaboration, teamwork, and communication.
I'm sitting outside the bush.
Dad, you are the worst Select Knight I've ever seen in my life.
Alrighty, now we're in the mid game. We're rotating around Lazy Lake, not planning to go toward into Lazy Lake. There are 50 people left, and the next zone is closing in. We do spot a team at the 2 small houses who do see us and do push us. We completely separated and we extremely panicked.
Crack one?
I got basically controller played by by one of them, and Brett and Hez got split up from me, and I split up from them. By then it was just a solo, and what they ended up doing was 2v1ing all of us.
I'm just taking
Very unfortunate. And
Okay.
in the I remember in the first
I,
beginning of the round we had
I don't know where you
really good
You're
timing,
well on your wall,
really good collaboration and communication, and by mid game this fell apart. This would be something that we work on.
No.
Now,
bad.
to talk about game 3, we have Hez.
I mean, what?
Kinda like that.
Right? Me too.
With the Bryce of flicking his weapon and picking up pings enemies at the far house, and he tries getting a few shots in.
Thank you.
Ryan shoots an arrow, it doesn't seem to do too much impact. Bryson tries to get a few hits, gets one, but gets tagged more than he tags. Tries to get a harpoon, results in him getting tagged another time.
Crack?
That's some bread.
Oh, yeah.
Scream.
Oh my
Not roasted. Shut off fast, taking that hit, just stay one more time and not bad score.
Yeah, that was super risky.
I didn't expect that. I thought that was Hez for a second.
Game 4 is underway, and this is what happened. By this point of the game that you're watching, I've cracked someone, Brett has cracked someone, and Hez hit someone for about half of its shield. We found an off-spawn fight at Colossal Crops. This is the trio that landed with us, and we decided to play box fight with them. Because these guys had a bunch of mats already, and we were a little bit in shambles. Hez went out there to go make a box play and tag someone, fell into that box, and tried to take the guy out of the flank. He was successful in doing that and did knock and finish him, which was very important to our strategy, because he did get heals for us. Shields are very important, and we had none. But taking that kill gave us all of the shields we needed. Well, not all the shields we needed, but enough to get us by. I did make a big mistake though. I did not check for Hez's health bar, and I did not realize that he did not have any shields.
Okay, or not.
If I knew it at the time, I would have given him the other mini, and we would have split 50-50.
I'm opening peanut butter, okay?
His teammate went to go grab his Reaper card, as you probably just saw. What we didn't know at that time was he did run to go reboot.
Going for a... I'm going through here.
So at this moment right now, all we are trying to do is we're trying to get as much peace control as we can, making sure all of the walls around us are ours, and we're just kind of chilling, waiting for the enemy to make the first move.
One's up, one's going
We
around.
do a lot of box fighting we already. So as you can see, I just took that wall and I grabbed a bunch of that corn, which is very important, because I do notice that all of our health is low. So I do start throwing corn at everyone, telling everyone to get their health up.
You got more?
No wonder.
Right around this time, we do notice that the person who they grabbed the reboot card had got rebooted. So they all started trying to double kill us. They did take our wall, and they also did take one of our roofs. We had horrible awareness during this time, and we let them take it. Brad did end up getting cracked, and we ended up, and we bought him up top. enough time for him to med up. They're trying to W key us,
We're getting pushed into a corner.
but
I'm
after
just
we
gonna
kind
go
of like
T1.
hit him a little bit, they decided to back off. But pushed out and just said, let's just push on an all-full-on rush,
Where is he?
knocked one of them, and it was very successful. Hez did make his way out of the box.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, it was not the smartest move, but it did work out for in our favor.
Oh, he's over there?
Hez got pushed by the Ginger Gunner, which I didn't end up knocking.
Nice.
And the last one, we did end up losing him, but it was a good trade because he did get 2 kills and got Hez rezzed.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, res. I'll try to.
We got 3, don't you?
Alrighty, so this is right after the last that you just saw.
Yeah.
We didn't even leave Colossal Crops yet.
Different trio.
What ended up happening was Hez spotted a team,
We should
and
run back.
we thought it was at solo, but it turned out it wasn't, so we tried to run
We
away.
don't have the map.
In the process of running away, we got a little bit split up, which was a little bit unfortunate. We didn't really have good team synergy at this point, so we kind of ran different ways. Hez did end up falling a little bit behind, which was a little bit unfortunate, but it happened. So Brad decided to just keep running, and I ran to the cornfields and Brad joined me. Unfortunately, the enemy team knew I was in here, and by this time, Hez got knocked. The enemy team decided to get smart and shake Hez to find out where we are in the bush, so they saw where we are. At this point, we knew that they were there, and I was wondering and calling out if Brad had gold. Fortunately, he did not have enough gold to use the rift. If you didn't know, the NPC here is Rad, and he sells a rift for 245 gold. We tried to play a box fight, and Brad gets knocked, and unfortunately, I go down with him.
I can't do anything.
That's fine.
Alrighty, here we are into game number 9. This is one of our 2 W key games that we played. 9 and 8 were both our W key games, and game number 8 we did not do so well. So, me and Hez and Brad are all in Holly Hedges, and we got good loot right off the start. I did not realize that Hez did not have shield at the time, and completely forgot to give him a
We
mini.
should push him. It's a solo for now.
I had horrible awareness during this time. We signaled to Brad that there was a soul in this house and recommend that we should be pushing. Brad says okay, that he'll catch up to us. He's quickly finished loading up since he does not have very good loot.
He's up there. He's breaking the map.
Hez goes to the roof where we found out that this person an enemy is. He gets the jump on Hez and he gets the jump on me and cracks me and hits Hez for about 50 damage. Then he W keys Hez and takes a 1v1 to Hez, but boxing himself up to get the finish so he can get a siphon. At this time, I hear the second teammate come and I instantly build. Brad arrives at this perfect moment to get a W key into this box, and I can assist the knock. His enemy teammate decides to come and catch up to him and try to help him, and I notice that there's 2 people.
I'm dropping that.
I throw a mini to Brad because I notice he's not at 50 shield, and I hear one of them crafting.
Okay, I mean,
Brad gets Hez's card and heals up.
One crafting.
By this time, the enemy team is rotating up to the top of the building as we grab this other man's loot, and he starts spraying us from the top. Brad now gets separated from me because I did not follow him, even though he calmed it.
Now it's
This is completely my fault as I, again, had really bad awareness this entire time, and the enemy team gets a jump on me. I noticed that he crafted and was not aware that he may have crafted a primal shotgun, which I should have probably noticed, as Brad over here notices it and takes a perfect peanut butter against them. He takes out the first guy and tries to listen for a second man. He takes a couple of minis and then immediately calms as he hears the second guy above his head. As the person drops down, he uses his primal shotgun and completely destroys him.
nice. Gotta get the finish. Nice. There's a pump there if you want to get that.
Alrighty, so Brad got me and Hez's reboot card and rebooted us and dropped a pump for one of us. I was the first one out of the van, so I naturally grabbed the pump.
Chopper, we're not
I hit this guy for 66 and hit him for 70. This was a team that was Loot Gunner skin that Brad clapped with his primal shotgun because Brad is a god.
drop down, guys. Drop down.
He did not make me say that, by the way. So Brad did make comment that he did need to heal because he's literally, and I'm quote, literally at 1 HP. He would take a med kit as he told us that we needed to buy time for him and to not die. And as you can see, that's how that went. We were just coordinated and didn't know what to do. Brad got followed by that team. hard W keyed him and got taken down.
Never mind. Oh my goodness.
I'm
Oh,
lucky.
okay, that don't work.
That's fine.
Alrighty, since you sat through the last 15 minutes of my horrible editing skills, I provided a bonus clip for you guys at the very end. Hope you guys enjoy it. No?
You know,
And the thing-
You guys,
The thing
Okay,
John
no.
you
was
guys
saying-
know how to be
Tony, what
quiet.
are you on, Tony? Even Ben tried to beat you guys out before.
I do it.
Do you guys
I
know
started
how to
doing
be
it
quiet?
just because of charming.
You guys, come on, come on,
Alright,
That's
I can't hear
crazy,
you.
but I
I
didn't
can't hear you.
Defron,
Whoa.
Yo, I think your mic's muted. Oh, hello.
200.
Oh, hello. Anybody there? Hello.
Do you have a mic? Do you have a mic?
Dude,
Hello.
what happened?
Yo, you better leave my
I just filmed the video. I just filmed the video of how loud my mic is.
No, why didn't
You guys want to hear my helicopter in the background?
I'm so flipping that.
You guys,